Oh, sorry, I'm so stupid. No, sorry. Oh, that's crazy. Sorry. No, but thank God I'm just starting. Thank God I'm just starting. Okay, here I am. Okay, so capitalization, yeah. Well, proper nouns, names of people, words used as names. Ask mother what we're having for lunch, or ask my mother what we're having for lunch is totally different. So the first sentence, mother, is used as a name, and the second sentence is described as someone. What about this one here? We also have to capitalize geographical names, like for example, Earth. Titles used with names, like for example, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., or historical events like Boston Tea Party or Feria de San Sebastián. It has to be also in capital letters. Be careful with that. Abbreviations like MD, MJ, WTH, WTF is like what the fuck or something like that. It has to be capitalized. Be careful with that, okay? Organizations like Girl Scouts of America, or maybe I don't know, UN, WHO, that's World Health Organization. Titles as Beauty and the Beast, that's the name, for example, in movies, books, and everything. And remembers that the first words of a sentence has to be capitalized, okay? Days and months, names of religions, nationalities, languages. Be careful with that. Nationalities in English have to be capitalized. Not in Spanish. In Spanish, is not, unless you start a sentence with a nationality. For example, I can say, Americanos en tal sitio, da, da, da. So you have to use a capital letter in that case. And official names, like for example, names of products. Like for example, Colgate, cornflakes. Those are names of official names that everybody knows are all over the world. Okay, Twix, Toblerone. I love that, those chocolates. Okay, so which change in capitalization should be made to this sentence? For example, and here's this is an activity that I created just like in order to know that. For example, I would like somebody to tell me which sentence, okay, need to have changes in capitalization. For example, the weather is cold today. So the option A is capitalize the T in the, or capitalize the W in weather, capitalize the T in today, or capitalize the C in cold. A. So which do you think is the correct answer?
A.
A? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what happens. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. That's the capitalized. Why? Why?
Because it's
the first word.
Start of a sentence. Yeah, because it's the start of a sentence. Very good. Let's see if you learn about capitalization. What happens in this case, in this example? Which change in capitalization should be made to this sentence? Marcy rode to soccer practice with Edward.
D.
Edward is a name.
Okay. Yes. Do you agree? Yes. Everybody? Do you agree? Let's see. Yeah. Last word. Let's see. Yes. Because why?
It's a name.
It's a proper name. It's a proper noun. That's right. What about this one? Which sentences use correct capitalization? Which sentences use correct capitalization? Have you seen Star Wars? No. One of the main characters is Princess Leia. My favorite character is Yoda. I would like to have a ship like the Millennium Falcon. Oh yes, I love Star Wars.
I think it's C.
Yeah? You think it's C?
C. Yeah,
C?
C. Yeah.
My
Yes.
favorite character joke. Okay. Yeah. So why do you say that? Okay. Why do you say that? Can you give me like reasons why?
The capitalization is at the start of the sentence, and Yoda is proper name, so it is capitalized.
Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah, because it's the start of a sentence. It uses a capital letter, and a Yoda, that is a proper noun, but it's a name. Yeah, it has to be capitalized. I love Yoda. Yoda is very wise. Okay.
Baby Yoda is better.
Baby Yoda is better. Well, I haven't had the opportunity to watch it, but I watch a lot of memes about Baby Yoda.
The Mandalorian is so good.
Okay, I'll watch that movie. I haven't had the opportunity to watch because of being busy. But anyway, okay, so I hope you have understood about capitalization. What about end marks or punctuation? In this case, we need to learn how to use the punctuation or, punctuation marks. Okay, so what about this one? Periods. What is period? What is a period?
Point.
Yes, that's what we call punto. Okay, that's what we call punto. Though period has another meaning. Period is like when you can refer also to menstruation. What women have every single month, you can also refer to that. But periods is punto. We have also some called full stops. Full stops. Full stops is when you move to another paragraph or when you finish something that you're writing. Okay, full stop. Okay, full stop. So what is the uses of periods? Well, at the end of a sentence, please be quiet. Nobody talking, okay? Bueno, yo sé que lo están haciendo ahorita. After an initial. After an initial, for example, Susan B, Anthony, whatever. Or Vladimir A, Oriana D, Aileen R, and so on, okay? As a decimal. Remember, as a decimal. Remember in English, comma and period work in a different way in numbers. Remember, commas in English are thousands or millions, and periods are decimals. It's totally opposite or totally the other way around in Spanish, okay? That periods refer to thousands or millions and commas, decimals. After abbreviations or titles, también son llamadas titles. For example, Mr., Mrs. And after initial abbreviations, for example, etc. That is one of the most common ones, okay? Sometimes people use ellipses. Ellipses are 3 periods at the same time. 1, 2, 3, period, ellipses. What is that in Spanish? That the name is ellipsis. So, question marks. After a direct questions, for example, do you want to visit other galaxies? Oh yes, I want to. I really want to. I want to visit other galaxies. To show doubt. When we refer to show doubt, it's like, for example, that the ship arrived in Boston on July 23rd. So when you don't know, when you're writing something that you're not sure what you're writing, okay? You can also, for example, how much was that? Okay, Samuel, tell me. Samuel, tell me. Oh, sorry.
Just before I have
what?
Like so many examples to show doubt, but I really thought that it was wrong to write like that. That it was informal.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. When you write it, for example, yes, somebody asks you, oh, how much the pencil cost? And you're not sure, well, how much a pencil costs? It costs $3 or $2, and then you write a period, a question mark. It means that you're not like right when you say that. But you can also use it like, for example, when you refer also to amounts of time, For example, the trip takes around 3 hours, something like that. Something.
So it's okay to write. It's not informal.
Yeah, no, it is not. It is not informal. No, it is not. It is not informal. Is it okay writing it like that? Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like in indecision.
Yeah, that's why it says to show a doubt, que es una duda. Yeah. Okay, very good.
Yeah, Vladimir.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Yeah, but this question that we have here, the ship arrived in Boston on July 23. It's an informal question. Remember that in academic writing we cannot do this. We have to use the auxiliaries. Yes, in this case we have to say, did the ship arrive in Boston on July 23? So we have to change this to academic writing, okay, to make it formal.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. Thank you for giving us that explanation. The thing is that sometimes you have to refer. And I explained this when I was going to refer to that before. When you refer to this, making it like informal, is when you're making a quotation. Yes. When you're making a quotation, this is the way you have to write it. Remember, when you write quotations, I think once I referred to quotations in previous classes with me. When we refer quotations mark, when we refer to someone, when someone said something, we have to write the same exact words. Yeah. So when you write it that, it's okay, but try to do it like when you refer to something, to someone else's than you, different than you, what other people say. Okay. So what about this exclamation point or exclamation mark? Well, I think everybody knows, because it also works the same way in Spanish. Yeah, to express a strong feeling like surprise, happy birthday, wait for me, oh shit, okay, something like that. You understand? Something like that. Okay. Never use double exclamation points in school writing or assignments or in business letters, because that's not correct, okay? Remember, as Professor said, academic writing, in this part, you have to use just one exclamation mark, okay? And is when you refer to something and you want to be very emphatic on when you're writing in that specific moment, okay? Okay, somehow you can use 3 exclamation marks when you want to express like anger, extremely surprise, or extremely happiness, or extremely whatever. You understand? You can do it. Yes, but that's an informal text, okay? Write it. So now that we have learned about this, let's see what happens. Which change in end marks should be made to the sentences below? Which changes? Did you feel good? Did you feed your dog this morning? Sorry, did you feed your dog this morning? I'm waiting.
It's a question.
D. The end mark should be a question mark.
So do we have like A, B, C, and D options? Which do you think is the correct option?
D.
B?
D. D.
Ah,
D.
D. Okay. A. Does everybody agree that is the D?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, of course. It is D.
Yes.
Why? Ah, bravo. Very good. Excellent. So that's the end mark, because you know we need a question mark in that part. Let's see what happens with the next one. Okay. Let's see if I can rasparlos in this part. Which change in punctuation should be made in the sentence below? Why are you always late for class?
B.
D.
The D, change the period to a question mark.
Change the period to a question mark. Okay, so okay, so you say D, right? But someone, I think was Dixon, who said B, right? So do you agree in D? Okay, Oriana, Jackson, Eileen, they say D, and Dixon says B. I want you to read it. I want you to read it and analyze it a bit. Too much thought? Final answer?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Change the period to a question mark. Okay, Dixon, very good. I wanted to ask these questions and to focus on this when you said B, because how can we, for example, now this is for everybody. This is for everybody. How can you use an exclamation mark, okay, or an exclamation point at the end of a sentence? Which changes should we make to that sentence?
Well, I see it as, why are you always late for class? Like a mother scolding her children, something like that.
Yeah. No, well, not could be a mother, could be also a teacher, but well, nowadays teachers, we cannot do that. We wish we could, but anyway, okay. No, I'm kidding. But how can we make those, what changes can we make in that sentence in order to use an exclamation point or an exclamation mark?
You are always late for class.
Why you are? Yes, why you're always late for class? In that case, we can use it as an exclamation. That's the only way we can use an exclamation point or an exclamation mark. In this case, we cannot put an exclamation mark. In this case, because it has a question structure. It has a question structure. The to be is before the subject. Very good. What about this sentence? What about this explanation? Which sentence has the correct end punctuation?
Which has the correct end punctuation? B.
I think B.
Okay, B. Okay. Okay, listening. Not all at the same time, please. Just one. Just one.
B.
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 B?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes.
All of you?
Yeah.
Are you 1000% sure?
Yeah, don't make me doubt, please.
No, I'm just asking because, you know, when I propose this, when I make this type of question, everybody starts doubting and says, so, what is this viejo making me think? Este viejo inglés, ¿qué le pasa? O algo, something like that. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, sorry. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's right. It was B.
Because it's a
okay.
sentence.
Can anybody tell me which other letter was thinking about? That some of the options that you gave. Oh, this is like could be this one, or could be the other one.
The C.
Why C?
But it's wrong because in the comma could be R. Are you good, girl? Or a
Very
question.
good. Yeah, but you know what is rollover?
No.
I think
What is the meaning?
actually, I think
Rollover is when you say, for example, remember when you're, I don't know, with your sister or brother, when you lay on the bed and you say, hey, roll over, roll over, roll over, or hey, roll over. It's like, move your ass, you know, give me some space,
Okay.
or something like that. Actually, there is a song for kids that it says, if you wanna be on bed and you need just some space, roll over, roll over. Okay. Well, I sound stupid, but anyway, let's continue with this. Let's continue with this. Okay. Okay. We have other punctuation marks. Obviously, we have other punctuation marks. Those are like the most common ones. Those are like the most common ones. Well, this one is very common, but we're gonna use it like very, very, very specifically because commas are a headache for some people. Sometimes they don't know where to put the comma. Am I lying? Miento. Okay, thanks for the answer. Okay, let's continue. I'm just kidding. Okay, so the comma. The comma between items in a series. For example, I know someone who likes pepperoni, pineapple, and olives on her pizza. Well, I know some others that like pepperoni, pineapple, olives, and guava paste. Bocadillo. This is guava paste on the pizza. Do you like pizza like that?
No,
No way.
I don't like pineapple.
what I
Yeah.
yeah. With mushrooms.
Oh fuck yes, delicious. Love them. Yeah. That makes me hungry. Okay, I haven't had breakfast, by the way. Okay, anyway, fuck. Okay. So oh shit, I thought I was the only one. Okay, listen to this. Between items in a series, okay? When you refer to several things at the same time, for example, on Mondays I get up, comma, I brush my teeth, comma, I take a shower, comma, I get dressed, comma, and so on, okay? So on. That is in a series. In dates and addresses, be careful with that. This is very important to keep in mind. When you write the date, after the day, you have to write a comma. And remember, days in English have to be written in ordinal numbers, dates. I mean, the number of the day has to be an ordinal. For example, today is the 8th. The 8th, okay? To keep numbers clear. Fuck, we have 10 minutes left, but don't worry, we can join again quickly to do this quickly. Okay. To keep numbers clear, as I said before, comma for thousands and millions. To set off interruptions, like for example, as it turned out, comma, however, comma, Rodney sold her car. And I am going to explain this a bit for Oriana that did it. Well, for Oriana and for everybody else. I'm going to use Spanish in this case, okay? For you to have it clear. Okay? En este caso, however, estaría funcionando como una expresión independent or let me clarify things, because when I change from English to Spanish, I go like crazy. Yeah, actually. It's like when you want to refer to something else, okay? It's cuando te quieres referir a algo más. Así como apareció, sin embargo, Ronnie sold her cars. Como ves, sin embargo, Ronnie vendió el carro. This is when you want to refer, when you want to make a kind of interjection, when you want to make a kind of refer to something else. Okay, we're going to learn a little bit more ahead.
It's like Adding information using conjunctions.
Yes, having information. But in this case, these conjunctions works are as fuck. I forgot the name. I don't know what happened to me today.
Subordinating conjunctions, maybe?
Yeah. In Spanish, I forgot the name in Spanish. It's okay, I'm gonna remember now. I can break up with the name now. To set of dialogues. The frog replied, "Come on, I'm waiting for the tow truck. I'm waiting for the tow truck." That would be something that replied, comma. Some people use periods. Some people use colon. But I am going to explain you how colons are used better in this case, okay? That is the use when you use comma, okay? Now let's move to this part, okay? Okay. In indirect addresses, like for example, please, Carla, find some new jokes. Yeah? Indirect addresses. Indirect addresses is like cuando usted se dirige de manera indirecta a una persona. Por favor, Carla, busque otro chiste. Something like that. Por favor, Jackson, turn off the lights, please. Something like that. You understand?
Yeah.
Between two independent clauses. What teacher, professor was referring to. Between two independent clauses. For example, aquarium workers love animals, comma, so they rescue hurt ones. Because there are different types of clauses as well, okay? Están las restrictive and non-restrictive clauses, okay? Apositivas era el nombre de la palabra. Me acordé. Yeah, sí, okay, sorry, aquí en esta parte, sorry. Aquí en however, es una conjunción que funciona como una parte apositiva, una posición, okay? I'm going to explain you that later on. Apositiva, that was the name. Wow, the brain is something amazing. In letter writing, dear Uncle Jim, comma, I'm glad to write you this letter for blah, 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 whatever. You understand? Be careful. You use that, right? Separate adjectives like the feel of cold, comma, salty water when I go wet it. Very good. What about this one here? The other use of comma. To set off interjections. Interjections. Wow! Look at that sunrise. Wow, comma, look at that sunrise. Well, when you say an exclamation, after, if you want to say something after that, you use a comma, okay? When you use a word expression, wow, great, shit, oh, comma, okay? Be careful with that. Be careful with that. To set off, by the way, I'm sending you this presentation to WhatsApp for you to have it clear in mind, okay? To set off appositives. Ahí están los apositivos, appositives. That's right. My father, a great cook, makes the best egg rolls in town. By the way, egg rolls are delicious. Okay, so listen to this. Una cláusula apositiva es una cláusula no restrictiva. No restrictiva quiere decir que si sacamos a great cook, esa oración sigue teniendo sentido. Okay? Don't forget that. Okay? Okay. 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 To set off introductory phrases and clauses, after checking my knee pads, comma, I started off. You know? After checking my knee pads, comma, I started off. In this case, this is a it has a subordinating conjunction, a subordinating clause. Okay, that's what I'm telling you, that this was a kind of, okay, so. Okay. Very good. A great cook, in the expression in this example before, a great cook is a phrase, just a phrase, and its phrases can be used also as a positives o cláusulas no restrictivas que dan información. These type of clauses give information. Okay. There are, this is non-restrictive, but there are restrictive o restrictivas. Restrictivas en este caso serían, pueden ser frases o cláusulas que dentro de una oración, si las quito, the sentence becomes totally nonsense. Okay, very good. Very good. Thank you for giving me. Okay, sorry. Okay, this one here. Okay, so here I have some examples. Here I have an example. Okay. Very good. Where should a comma be placed in the sentence below? Yeah, we have a sentence. Please place a pencil, a pair of scissors, and 2 sheets of paper on your desk. Okay? So, which option do you think has to be a comma placed? A, after the word paper. B, after the word scissors. Before the word of, or after the word sheets. Which do you think is the answer? Not all at the same time, just one.
The C before the word of please.
Before the word please.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here waiting for you. I just want the answer. Remember, this is one of the uses of comma. This is a sequence of objects. Remember at the beginning when you say, well, the sequence of objects, the sequence of parts, of things. Remember the pizza?
Please, no. Papers, scissors, no, sheets, no.
So the answer for this one was A, B, C, or D.
B.
Who said what?
B. It was me.
B? B? What about Oriana? What about Jackson?
Maybe C.
Okay, let's see what happens. Yep, very good, Dixon. Dixon, you were right. You were right, because in this case, the word it is a continuous set of things. Okay, it's a set of things. It's a continuous set of things. Remember, it was one of the presentations, one of the slides previous to this one. Okay, when you refer to several things, you have to refer, like, for example, please place the pencil, a piece of scissors, comma, and 2 sheets. Though, let me tell you something. There are some styles manuals. Hay algunos manuales de estilística al escribir. Some people say that you don't need a comma before an N. Some others says, yeah. Some others says that you can put you need a comma before an N when you have a set of continuous things. In this case, it's important to have a continuous thing. You don't put a comma when you are like, for example, maybe adding like long sentences. In some cases, not in all of them, but in this case, you can put or not the comma. If you put the comma, it would be better. Yeah, if you put the comma, it would be better. So what about this exercise? What about this? Where should commas be placed in the sentence below? The sentence is like, you must bring your ticket, lunch, and spending money.
After commas. After after B. After ticket and lunch.
After ticket and lunch. That's Oriana. What about Dixon, Jackson?
Me to the B.
B? So you agree?
Yeah.
What about Dixon?
B also.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Yes, that's right. It's a continuous set of things. Remember, you must bring your ticket, comma, lunch, comma, and spending money. Okay, spending money. Colon. What is a colon? Colon is what we call in Spanish dos puntos. The colon. Okay, the colon. You use the colon to introduce a list. Okay, introduce a list. Remember when I told you that you can use a comma to introduce that someone has said something? Well, in this case, you can use a colon when you introduce, like, for example, several opinions or several things that different people say. But it's better to use a comma when you use one person say something. Okay, for example, after a salutation in a business letter, for example, dear chairperson. Chairperson is like the principal, okay? Dear chairperson. And between numbers in time. That's logical. When you use like numbers, the hours, you put a colon. That's the name, colon. Well, this is not that difficult to use it. Let's see something here that is very important, and I am going to stop a bit here to explain the hyphen, because some people don't understand. There are two different types of come on. Okay, there are two different types of hyphens. Okay. Well, two different types of guiones, because in English there are two, hyphen and dash. The hyphen is short and the dash is longer. Yeah, but the dashes have two names. We have an N dash and an M dash. I am going to explain that in a picture that is very good to understand it, okay? So a hyphen is a word that you use to divide a word when you run out of room at the end of a line, yes? Cuando tú partes una palabra, you understand? But divide only at the syllables, yeah? Divide only at the syllables. That is mandatory. For example, when you divide the word intelligent, inte, you can put a hyphen there, legend, because you have to divide it just in the syllables. Okay, you cannot put like e, that hyphen. No, it has to be in syllables. The division has to be in syllables. I try not to use that much. You use it just when you write like something by hierarchy, but not like that. Okay, between numbers in fractions. That's easy. That's easy. But I am going to stop here and explain a bit more about hyphens, because here I have something to show you. Wait, where is it? Come on, where is it? Okay, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, now I see it. Now I can see it. Here it is. Can you see that picture?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you see that picture? It says hyphens versus dashes. Yeah. And I wanted to use this picture because it's tremendously explained. It's tremendously explained. Some people get confused at using hyphens and dashes sometimes. Okay. So let's read it here from the beginning. The hyphen, that is this short guion, okay, guion, is a symbol that is slightly narrower than an en dash. Now I'm going to explain you what an en dash is. The em dash is twice as long as the en dash, okay? They are different in appearance and uses. It seemed to be difficult, but it isn't. It isn't difficult. Let's check first the en dash. Here, the en dash here, okay? You use the en dash when you want to express a period of time, okay? A period of time. When you want to say he lived in this town from 1998 to 2009, you just put that guion, but a bit longer than a hyphen. It's a bit longer, okay? Remember, the hyphen is short, the dash is longer, okay? And that en dash means a period of time, okay? Yes, also to indicate a range of numbers. Yes, for example, you could choose two numbers from 1 to 50. In that case, that en dash means like 2. Ese 2. Hasta. From 1 to 50. When you say it speaking, orally speaking. When you write it, you just have to put that en dash. That's the name, en dash. Okay. You use it also with the scores. That the red team won 3 dash, en dash, this match, to 1 this match. Or you can say, when you say orally speaking, it's 3 to 1. 3 to 1. And to indicate distance, Europe to USA is a long flight. It's a long dash. Okay. So what is the hyphen? So the hyphen in this case is, and this is a word that to form hyphenated words, because we can hyphenate adjectives, we can use hyphenate prefixes, we can hyphenate numbers, and to indicate breaks, like for example in the last one. Okay. To form hyphenated words, hyphenated words, like for example, good looking. Can anybody think of another example of a hyphenated word using adjectives?
Well known.
Well known, very good. Another. Think of another one. Okay, let's continue then. Nobody wants to tell me any. Okay. Okay, so to link prefixes to words. I think you have already studied these in a level that it was called reading. And in this part reading, you were taught about suffixes and prefixes. Well, this is to link prefixes. Like for example, the cooperation between two is minimal. Can you give me other examples of prefixes with hyphenated? Can anybody tell me? Just one? No? Come on, it's easy. It's not difficult. It's not that difficult. No? No? Could be. Could be.
Pre, post,
Uh-huh.
post,
Pre-post. Uh-huh.
post-war,
Exchange. Post-war. There are many. There are many. I am going to send you some examples. We can also we can also use hyphens in numbers. Actually, some grammar books when they explain numbers, they say that you have to put a hyphen between, like for example, to say 22, you have to say 20-2. But that's up to you. That's up to you. You can write 22 without a hyphen. Do you ever read 20th century in literature? In that case, is to indicate word breaks. Word breaks. 20th century. That's another one. The M dash. What happens with the M dash? The M dash is even easier, okay? Because in this case, the M dash, in most of the cases, work as a parenthesis. As a parenthesis, okay? As a parenthesis. To show a break in a sentence, for example, please call my supervisor, John Wick, on Friday. You can use it, sometimes it can be used, this M dash, as a parenthesis, and in some cases as a comma to separate ideas or clauses, okay? Number two is like making an important words. For example, to get to New York from here, okay, you are heading there, right? Okay, you need a car, train. So it's just to like give an explanation to clarify something that is not necessary, okay? That is not necessary. And create emphasis, to create emphasis. My mom loves fish. My dad loves beef. Understand? It works like a comma. You see, in that case, this M dash functions as a comma. But you can use it like that, but just in very specific case. And to indicate a sudden change of thought. Yes, to indicate a sudden change of thoughts. For example, I had a great vacation in Bali. Oh, is that your dog? He's so cute. You understand that part? You understand that part? Is when you have like a change or a break in something. When you're talking about something and then something comes up to your mind and say, oh, this one here. Because it's totally different related to, I had a great vacation in Bali. Oh, is that your dog? He's so cute. You know what I mean? So that's the best way to understand how to work with hyphens, N and M dash. It's easy. I'm going to send you some information about this for you to keep it or to have it in mind, okay? Okay. Any questions? Any questions from this part? Any questions?
No.
No questions? As I told you, this was going to be a kind of academic class. Well, actually, it is an academic class. Very good. So, this was already explained. What about this next part? Apostrophe. Everybody knows the apostrophes. Everybody knows the way they work. Remember, apostrophes, the ones that are academically used are the possessives. The possessive when I say, oh, Vladimir's computer. In that case, that's academic. You can use that apostrophe. Remember, apostrophe are mostly used in contractions, as it says here, in contractions. Can't. Or to form plurals. Yes, to form plurals. This could be used in academic writing or not. That depends on you. That's up to you. In place of omitted numbers or letters, for example, class of 91 or fixing to go, okay? So in that case, you can put 91s or 90s. You put the 90 apostrophe S, case S, case S. Case S quiere decir S minúscula, case S, sorry. I'm struggling with translation in English and Spanish at the same time. Well, the apostrophe, you can use it to form singular possessive, sisters. Yes. Where are you going today, Dixon? And then Dixon answers, I'm going to my sister's. That's it. It means that he's going to his sister's house or place or whatever she is. To form plural of possessives, girls. You can use girls with a apostrophe. You can use girls with apostrophe and S as well. That's up to you. In this case, depende de ustedes, the way you use it. And to form shared possessive, Jim, Jeb, and Jerry's. Pero si estamos hablando de manera independiente, and I want to say this in Spanish, ¿sí? Que si, por ejemplo, si estamos hablando del teléfono de Jim, el teléfono de Jeb, el teléfono de Jerry de manera independiente, entonces tengo que decir Jim's, Jeb's, and Jerry's, y el sustantivo al final tendría que ser en plural, phones. Okay, phones.
Okay.
Okay. ¿Está clear?
Yes.
Si están hablando es solo de un pez que es de los tres, mientras que si hablamos de un teléfono, pero de un teléfono que es de Jim, de otro teléfono que es de Jeb, de otro teléfono que es de Jerry, entonces tenemos que ser James, Jeb's, Jerry's, phones. In that case, we have to pluralize them. Okay, time to learn to see if you understood what I explained or not. Which word best fills the blank in the sentence below? Like, for example, my unusual parrot ate a single cracker. This is grammar at the same time.
Sí.
C.
Yes.
You think it's D?
My unusual parrot.
You have to read the context. You have to read the context where the context comes. My unusual, it means that it's not
normal.
It's not a normal parrot. It isn't a normal parrot.
Okay, entonces,
because that has a particular aspect. What could be that particular aspect?
Hey.
So Oriana or maybe Jackson. Okay, let's see what happened. Yes, very good, Dixon. Very good, Dixon is one. Sometimes when you write or when you read, you gotta be careful in the keywords. Okay, the keywords. For example, unusual parrot. Unusual is working as an adjective in that case. Okay, it's an adjective. It's referring to the parrot. When it's unusual, if it is unusual parrot, for example, if you say unusual parrot, if you say my unusual parrot don't eat a single cracker, and you cannot use don't. In that case, it has to be doesn't eat. You know what I mean? Well, because it's a third person, eat, think, animal, doesn't. That's why D is not the correct answer. If it were doesn't, it could be correct, yes, but it is don't. So the best answer for this one is one. Very good. What about this? Underlining. This is another way for academical writing. This is easy. You just have to keep in mind that titles of plays on obras de teatro, books, newspapers, magazines, television programs, movies, and CDs. Yes, when you refer to them, you have to underline them. For example, The Wiz, it's a play, que es una obra de teatro. Exploring an ocean-type pool, that is a book. Yes, when you refer to a book. The book, Exploring an Ocean-type pool, and then you underline it. Very good. Pinky and the Brain, television program. Oh, I love that program, especially the song. The Pinky and the Brain, the Pinky and the Brain. One of them's a genius, the other is insane. Okay. That's another one. Yeah, that's Pinky. Well, sometimes I feel like Pinky, sometimes I feel like Rain. Well, okay, anyway. The Prince of Egypt. Did you watch the movie? The Prince of Egypt?
Mm,
I haven't.
no.
I haven't. I haven't. I think I'm gonna watch it someday. I know they play like 1,000 times on TV. But anyway, so be careful when you underline this. Remember, you underline if you refer to names of books, plays, newspapers, magazines, television programs, and movies, and CDs, and etc. Okay, you have to underline them. Be careful, underline them. And any questions, Oriana?
Yes, the underlining is an specific case or
Nope. When you are writing someone, for example, if you're writing something like this, de acuerdo a los descubrimientos que tuve y a las lecturas del libro tal, pones el nombre del libro, and then you underline them, lo subrayas, pum, I realized that, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I found out, or it explains lo que sea, but in ese caso, you have to underline it, understand? You have to underline it. Don't forget that. Okay, let's move to this one, next one, quotation marks. Quotation marks. What is quotation marks in Spanish?
Comillas.
Sí, comillas, yes, comillas, abro comillas, cierro comillas, yes, yeah. Quotation marks are used, as you can see them here, they are open and closed quotation marks to set off a direct quotation, Por cierto, like a few minutes ago, like at the beginning of the class, I sent some quotations from Coco Chanel and Oscar Wilde, one of my favorite authors. About that. And did you realize that those quotations, they have quotation marks? Did you realize the Coco Chanel? The Coco Chanel, keep your heels head, keep your heels head, and head standards high. Sorry, that's what you need to have it. Okay. Placement of punctuation. Put other marks inside the quotation marks. Todos si van a decir, van a explicar o van a referirse a algo, todos los signos de puntuación, sean los que sean, tienen que ir dentro de los quotation marks, okay? Don't forget that. To punctuate titles, songs, para referirse a songs, okay? For example, one of my favorite songs that is, open quotations, Friday I'm in Love, close quotations, by The Cure is my favorite song. I love it. It's nice. I don't know why I love Fridays, okay? Poems, short stories, essays, chapters of books, articles, newspapers, magazines, encyclopedia, or electronic sources. Okay? No sé si queda claro this part. America the Beautiful, like a song. Mac Brown Tells the Truth, it's a short story. And Water Everywhere, that is a chapter. It's a chapter of a book. Okay? That's the way you use quotation marks. And I think that's the end of the presentation. For yeah, I am going to close this.